super mom, super wife, okay, all trying to like do both at the same time one, okay? But for them, their life is only complete if they have both husband and children. One without the other, they cannot, because that is their purpose, okay? Excessive helicopter mom syndrome, sometimes, okay? And very, very can be over-focused on their children a little bit. Because, why? The jab would put in the ground already, I'm like, okay, you're doing okay. Let me pay attention to this one. Okay? Because the jab would grow by itself, right? But the metal, the G Earth's instinct is what? Cover, 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 cover. Okay? So they tend to be a little bit overly focused on the children, sometimes not so bothered with the husband. Okay? Now, the Chi Earth father actually is not so effective. Chi Earth man not so effective as a husband, more effective as a father. Wife is what? Wife to a Chi Earth is run water, hard to control. But children to a Chi Earth is what? 7 killings, hurting officer. Control them. Okay? So the reason why your husband was saying no, it's very stressful is because he has to modify his life to them. Okay? So he finds that difficult. Okay? But in an Asian context, normally what happens is they're not as hands-on fathers, but suddenly they realize the importance of making their career succeed because they've now got somebody they are responsible for. Whereas prior to children, they may be a bit more like, oh, well, you know, let's see where they go. Suddenly, once the children come along, they will acquire a very, very acute focus on progressing themselves professionally. Right? So then you think back your husband before you had children, right? Maybe he was a bit more like, well, you know, job is just a job. Maybe once the children came along, he suddenly realized, okay, I've got to have a plan. I need to know where I'm going with this career. Why am I in this job? Is this job going to get me to where I need to get? Because, you know, I've got to pay for these 2 kids now and I've got to have some focus.